Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into my channel. Today we're starting something a little bit different. Usually my channel has a lot of travel related videos, but recently I started getting into collecting action figures, even at this old age, and so I'm taking this chance to showcase different videos on this channel, not just travel videos, although those will still be coming, but I'm going to make a playlist that kind of showcases getting back into the action figure collecting. And today I wanted to start off with what kind of triggered the whole thing, because we're coming up on just about a year that I've been collecting back in the game. And what got me started collecting again was basically I have all these vintage Star Wars figures that I had in my own collection, sitting in storage for a very long time. I never knew how to display them. So one day I went on YouTube and started to look at how people are displaying Star Wars figures. And that opened up the proverbial can of worms, as they say. So in a very short amount of time, I invested in these black bookshelves that I got from Walmart for $35 plus tax. As a start, I wanted something not super cheap, but not super expensive. So these are pretty good. They look great. They come in black or white. I paid at the time, about a year ago, like I said, about $35 plus tax for the shelves, and started stacking them. I found the lucite steps, display steps. Those were on Amazon. I cannot remember how much those were, but I will post all the links for all the products in the description below. I just have to go through because it's been a while since I've ordered some of this stuff. But when it comes to the figures, 99% of what you see is from my own collection, from the 1977 starting point. Since I got back into collecting, I started evaluating what I had. I started filling in the gaps, but 99% of the collection is mine, including the weapons. I've had a Cool Whip container for close to 40 years that housed every single weapon that they came with. So when it came time to matching them all up, I just went on the internet and started looking up what weapons go with whose. A lot of them I already knew, but so that way everybody could be on display with their weapon, or at least have their weapon at their feet. So I'll show, this is the Star Wars section. I just wanted to put them on display so that it's on the same shelf. We have Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. And I'll zoom in as I'm talking so you guys can get a full look at the collection. Just like I said, a majority of these are all mine. Like I said, most of this collection is mine from the 70s and early 80s. You'll see some things that came out later. I just was trying to group them all together. Like, I didn't think I'd ever be able to afford an R5D4. I think that's who that is. So I got one of the newer ones, and then as I started collecting and searching things out, I did find older figures for pretty cheap. So I did that, but I displayed them all there. So that's a different R2D2. That's a newer one in the midst of an original R5D4, and then sort of the newer upgraded one. So there's a lot of that. So basically, any figures that I didn't have, I went online and looked, and then I went to conventions to pick up some, like, I guess what you call beater figures. some, they're not mint. I don't do a lot of mint collecting. I just want them to represent. The thought process is they've been in storage for so long. There's no sense in spending hundreds of dollars on figures just to sit on a shelf. So I'd find cheap ones, knowing full well that I had the weapons at home, and so I'd spend a couple bucks at conventions. But most of this means a lot to me. So anything with wear and tear on it, those are mine, pretty much. Now the Princess Leia here, I did buy that one online, so I did a lot of eBay. And again, I think the most expensive one I spent was this R2-D2 with the retractable scope. I think he was like 30 or 40 bucks. I can't remember. So yeah, so there's those. So again, they're on stands I found on Amazon that work pretty good for Star Wars figures. And then the Lucite steps hold them by movie. And then down here we have the Return of the Jedi display. And so you'll see there's maybe some Power of the Force in there. Some of the, like the C-3PO, that the limbs come off. I can't remember the origins of all of these things, but so yeah, I got the Endor. Now what I don't have in this collection are what they call the Final 17 or something like that. Those are very expensive, and I haven't really gotten the nerve to start buying those yet. Some of those can cost a couple $100s a piece. And when I start showcasing other videos about what I'm collecting, you'll understand where the money is going. But this is the Return of the Jedi again. Everybody's there to represent. And like I said before, most of the Return of the Jedi is from my own collection. Actually, most of all of these are from my own collection, so I'm very proud of that. I think I only had to buy less than 10 figures. And then down here, we have a lot of the newer, well, I guess newer, as in already 20, 30 years ago. Episode 1, stuff like that. Different features, different things I found online. You can never have too many stormtroopers. I was just starting to buy stuff online, cheap. The Ronto, I think I got him cheap. The Dewback is mine. This little sand set with R2-D2 and C-3PO, I think I bought that online for cheap. Again, I like Darth Vader, Darth Maul. Who fell up there? Oh, Darth Vader unmasked fell up there. Down below, on the very bottom, it's hard to get to. It's a shelf I really don't know what to do with yet. It's Tauntauns, Hoth, then I have a speeder bike in there, and some figures that I just bought on discount that I haven't opened. And again, speeder bike is mine. This is not the earliest version of the land speeder. That's the second time it came out, I think. I got some Tauntauns cheap. That's my original Tauntaun. I don't have a saddle for it though. And then up top, we deviate from the figures, and this becomes the overall display. We have Princess Leia on a speeder bike, and then I have some Pops, which I used to be way into collecting Pops, but that has sort of calmed down now, because the only one I really want to add to this is Han Solo from Star Wars, and he's hard to find, very expensive, and so I don't deal with that too much. If I find him on discount, like this Cad Bane, I think I got for less than 10 bucks. I bought him. Bounty Hunter, I got that one off eBay for a couple bucks. Then up there we have a stamp set that came out years ago. And every once in a while I'll buy Star Wars Black Series figures if they're especially if they're part of the original trilogy, but if I really want them. And then I have stuffed Grogu from Disneyland and Jedi Mickey Mouse. And I'm a sucker for Lego Star Wars, especially anything from the original trilogy, but I don't buy everything. But I like what I like, so Scout Walker. And then over here, this is the second shelf that's less themed. The other one is set perfectly with the figures from the era. This is a little bit of everything. So I have Probe Droid, Lego, General Grievous Lego, which is one of the best Lego set of the characters ever. Say what you will about episodes, the early episode 1, 2, and 3. That's one of the greatest characters that came out of that, in my opinion. Then I have a vinyl Darth Vader statue that I've had for decades, and it's great to finally, this past year, showcase him. And then the Lego speeder bike and Scout Trooper, which is awesome. And I got a couple little Lego micro fighters, which I like. And then some Black Series that I literally found on discount. I think I got them for like $6 each at a Ross Dress for Less out here about 6 or 8 months ago. I almost forgot, on the shelf with the original figures from the 70s, I also have this at the top. I try to create a little bit of a cantina scene. Got the Rancor monster, and then I got the Jabba the Hutt, and I paid for the Jabba the Hutt stand, but that's a different Jabba. This is the Jabba that I have. It's supposed to have the green goo come out of his mouth. That all dried up. I don't have the green goo, so his hands don't hold the hookah pipe right. But I like this Jabba better than the one that's supposed to come with the set. So that's why that's like that. But I was very excited to buy an original vintage platform that he sits on. Even though there's some people doing custom work with 3D printers that look insanely more detailed, I almost bought one, but I wanted to stick with owning a vintage one. And then over here I have the Max Rebo band, which I'm very proud of. That's my own. And then, so it's just a little scene. I use artwork from other toys to make backgrounds. I'm just now starting to get into that. I haven't done a whole lot of that yet, but again, this sad looking C-3PO, he's there because he is vintage. He is from 1977 or 78, whenever they came out. So he stays there because it's one of the oldest figures I have. Let me straighten up. Leia, great figure. So there's that shelf. That's above the vintage figures. And then back over to the other shelf is the Lego helmets that I like. But I'm running out of space, so I don't buy them as much anymore. But I got Boba Fett, and my son got me the Scout Trooper, which is cool. And then I just found like a 3D printed Mandalorian off of Facebook Marketplace. Some more minifigures. This is stuff that I've had just sitting in boxes for years. The Pez dispensers. Then I got like the Brickheads, Star Wars, these Galaxy figures. I don't know what happened to the ships, but I have some of those, so those are here. And then I got this cool calendar, if anyone's familiar with, or candle. If anyone's familiar with those sort of religious candles, I found a guy that does Star Wars themed ones. If I can remember his name, I'll put his link in the description also. So then moving down here is a lot of pops and spaceships and just stuff. It's not none of it's rare. It's all very common. The mini pops, or these minifigures here from Mandalorian, I got from Five Below, and I started getting this stuff once I started realizing I wanted to put stuff on display. Then I found Boba Fett and Mandalorian themed pops. This Boba Fett here I've had since, I don't know, for a very long time. And then I found this at a store out here for like $6. This is one of the coolest pops I think I've ever seen, with or without it being Star Wars related. I love the Han Solo and Carbonite pop. Boba Fett Pez dispenser, and then this is the Razor Crest ship, and there's also a Lego one back there. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, I find these all at like discount stores. There's the Lego Boba Fett. And then we get into the action figures. Cad Bane. And then some Boba Fett Mandalorian. And then there's a Boba Fett back there. He's part of the carbonized line, which nobody likes. Online it gets a lot of hate. As someone that's just a casual collector, I think it's cool as hell. Anytime you can do a new spin on a character, I'm all for. And then I bought some of these on discount of Mandalorian figures that remind me of the old Star Wars figures. And then K2SO Lego. Then we come down here. And it's come down here. And it's just more stuff. I found the R2-D2 at a Goodwill for $5. I think he's for remote control, but he didn't come with a remote control. I just thought it would be cool on the shelf. And then Lego Boba Fett spaceship. I paid someone to make this plushy yarn Grogu. A random clone trooper, I think. I don't even know how I got that. And then the Lego skiff, which I think is cool. So Lego skiff, and then Starship, and then whenever Target stuff goes on clearance at Target, I pick them up. This is a $30 figure that I think I got for like $9. I will not pay $30 for a 3.75 inch figure, no matter how much of a fan I may or may not be. So that's that shelf. And then down here is still kind of a work in progress. I have Cassian Andor pop. I have this cool book where they folded the pages to look like Boba Fett's mask. And then this is a work in progress also. Hoth Lego set. And then lastly, down here, I just didn't know what to do. So we have a little bit of a Hoth battle, my original Darth Vader case, and some Star Wars themed books and whatnot. So that is my Star Wars shelves. We're gonna get more in depth into this whole room and my collection. So thank you for watching, and please stay tuned as there will be more videos posted. There's a budding Spider-Man setup that we'll tackle in another video. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you want to keep watching these videos, and I'll see you in the next one.